Legislature is an arm of government that complements efforts of the executive in any democratic administration. It passes annual budget and performs oversight function, among other roles. How cordial is the relationship that exists between the legislature and the executive in Osun State? Our guest today is the Speaker of the Osun State House of Assembly, Timothy Owoeye, who will be speaking on this and more. Welcome to Osun in Progress, a weekly program that showcases activities and achievements of Governor Owoeye in the state of the virtuous. My name is Rafiu Hamid, but before then, let's look at some of the activities that took place in the states during the week. On Monday, the state governor, Owoeye attended a public lecture organized by the Osun State Muslim community in collaboration with the state government to mark the beginning of another Islamic lunar calendar, Hijrah 1443. Representatives of Muslim community from different towns in the state graced the event. In a lecture, the guest speaker, Professor Amidu Sani, who said Nigerians deserve to be secured by government, appealed to every individual to contribute their quotas.
Our duty of the government is to provide security of life and property. But unfortunately, our government has failed woefully in this regard. And that is why they need to invite all Nigerians, all stakeholders, about what is the way forward. So nobody can protect us more than ourselves.
I must say that recent happenings, especially in our area, does not really prove the fact that the conventional security architecture is functional enough.
The governor, Owoeye, who was represented by his deputy chief of staff, enjoined Muslims to let the lessons learned in the migration of the Prophet from Mecca to Medina reflect in their lives.
We must also use this period to reflect on our deeds and activities during the past year. We must make hijrah, migration, and abandon bad habits for good habits, and rededicate ourselves to the worship of Almighty Allah. This is one of the essence of hijrah.
The state government had declared Monday as public holiday to allow Muslim faithful in the state mark the beginning of the new Islamic calendar. On Tuesday, residents of Atiba and neighboring communities in Olorunda local government area of Osun State lauded the ongoing revitalization of primary healthcare centers across the 332 wards that make up the state. They stated this during a town hall meeting organized by a non-governmental organization, Connected Development, with members of the community on COVID-19 transparency and accountability.
Looking up to the serious nature of COVID-19 pandemic, it is very important that the primary health care facilities, which is the closest to the people and the grassroots, is well equipped to take charge of the COVID-19 vaccine. And that is what we've been doing for the past 4 months.
The Executive Secretary, Osun State Primary Health Care Development Board, who was also represented at the event, said all the 332 primary health care centers in the state are working effectively.
When we talk of staff, the government is doing work on that. As regards the renovations they have done, probably the electricity, water and the lights, all this report will be taken to the State Primary Health Care Board and from there to the governor. So I believe in due course, all this will be addressed and necessary actions will be taken.
When this health center was brought here, we were actually very happy. It will reduce our body going a long way from here to get a treatment.
It has reduced the pains of our people, the struggles that they had to make, and the challenges that they faced in going to the secondary health centers in the state.
The COVID-19 accountability project is being carried out in 15 states of the Federation, with Osun being the only state in the southwest region. Same day, launching of beams on the Owoeye flyover began. The State Commissioner for Works and Transport, Remi Owoeye, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Works and Transport, Olatoke Olaniyan, and the contractor handling the project, Olanrewaju Adeleke, were on ground.
When we started this project, the critics felt we were not going to complete it under 9 months. But with what we've seen today, it's clear that the project will be completed under 9 months.
I'd like to commend them for the patience so far, and that it's a work in progress, and we are repairing all the alternative routes that they are applying now, and we ensure that those routes are kept in good shape so that they will not suffer too much hardship while this project is going on.
It took us a lot of time. It's a multi-agency approach construction, which is what you're seeing here today. And at the end of the day, we were able to work out a financial structure that works, taking into consideration the current situation of the economy of the state.
Team of engineers from the Nigerian Society of Engineers and Koren were not left out.
As Koren, we've been here on inspections severally, and the quality of work is very satisfactory. The quality of the engineers on site, they are also very satisfactory. In fact, all of them are indigenous, qualified and registered civil engineers on the site.
So happy today, at least for the whole world to see that those questions that are being asked in our society, what is Nigerian engineering doing? You can all see today that an indigenous engineer is handling this project, and everybody here had testified that the job is a good job.
The contractor assures timely delivery of the project.
And in another 2 days or thereabout, we should be through with the beams. Then we'll have the support slab. Then next, we want to cast the deck. And in doing that, we're going to prepare reinforcements. At the preparation of reinforcement, then the casting of the concrete will come up. Then we'll wait for the number 28 days curing period. And within that 28 days, where we're waiting for the curing, we will now work on the ram. We have 2 rams, the shorter and the longer ram. So we're going to work on the 2 simultaneously.
Also on Tuesday, the rural community engagement took place in some communities in Odoti local government area of the state. The state government team was led by the special advisor to the governor on civic engagement, Olatunbo Soyintiloye. The communities include Oroki, Alapata, Idiroko, Iyeku, Eleshinfunfun, Agbeye, Ore, Inisha, among others. In each of the communities, meetings were held with the dwellers who made their requests known to the government. The essence is to ensure no community is left behind in the developmental stride of the state government.
Today, we have been able to cover no less than 15 villages in Odoti in local government, and at different points they have bring up their requests, ranging from electricity to roads to boreholes, and this has been documented, because you will agree with me that very few governments have the consciousness of the people living in the rural area. But this is one of the things that make the government of Oyintola a different government, a unique government.
On Thursday, Osun State joined the rest of the world to mark 2021 International Youth Day. Thousands of youths from different parts of the state converged on Osogbo, the state capital. They marched from Ayetoro through Igbona, the popular Okefia roundabout, to Ogoluwa, and terminated it at the state secretariat Abiri, where they were received by the governor, Gboyega Oyetola, and some members of his cabinet. According to them, massive youth inclusion in governance by the present administration informed their action.
The youths are not just coming out today. We have our purpose of coming out. The purpose is that we are out to celebrate and thank Mr. Governor for giving the youth the opportunity to take part in the government. The confidence and trust he has in us will never be taken for granted. And we are assuring him that we are going to work tirelessly and do anything humanly possible that this government succeed.
Out of 585 caretaker members in our local government, the youth who are below 40 are more than 300 in that appointment.
The governor is moved by the action of the youths. He charged them to channel their energy towards positive ways. The governor also promised to continue to embark on more youth-oriented programs and policies.
For our youth to show this level of solidarity with the government, I feel that we're doing very well, and we are appreciated by the youth. And I want to assure the youth that we still have a lot of things in store for them. We believe we're going to do more. We've done so much in the area of agriculture, empowerment in agriculture. We are looking at youth in mining.
Owoeye has done so much for the youth of the state, and you can testify to that by the way the youth came out today to march and show appreciation to Mr. Governor. So it is about renewing the hope for the youth in Osun.
Thereafter, a special interactive session with the governor was held at the Staff Development Center in Abiri to mark the day. Some youths in the cabinet also took time to advise the participants. The platform provided opportunity to provide solutions to the myriads of problems confronting the youths. The theme for this year's celebration is Transforming Food System, Youth Innovation and Planetary Health. Legislature is an arm of government that complements efforts of the executive. In Osun, there are 26 members in the State House of Assembly. Speaker of the Assembly, Timothy Owoeye, speaks on the relationship that exists between the two arms of the government in the state.
If you are a good citizen, if you are ready to serve, it's the progress of the particular state you are serving. The relationship has been a very cordial relationship. People expect that if the House of Assembly are not fighting with the executive, it means that they are rubber stamp. No. In a situation where you have an experienced speaker with experienced governor, definitely what you should expect is progress, is achievement as far as the state is concerned. So the relationship between the two of us is cordial, and it's a way. The cordiality has brought many advancements, many achievements to the state. And look at the main resources of the state. But the executive, under the leadership of our amiable governor, Mr. Owoeye, he was able to move the state forward despite the meager resources we have. Prompt payment of salary, infrastructural developments, good relationship between the three arms of government. What else do we want than to work together with him?
What has been the contributions of the present legislators in the state to the current administration?
I've passed into law 18 bills. 18. Not minding the term of coronavirus that almost gobbled a year of our time, not to talk of NSAS protest. We are able to... The strike, yes, the strike. Person strike and Jusun strike. We were able to pass into law 18 bills as far as this 7th Assembly is concerned. There is no bill that is not important. In as much honorable members have looked at it critically, if any bill comes to the House of Assembly and it's not important, by the time we get to the second reading, the bill must have met its death.
So it will be thrown out?
Yes. So the 18 bills are very, very important to the developments of the state. Not to belabor you, the recent passed bill in the state is that of State of Osun Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Bill that we just concluded. that of Osun State Violence Against Person Prohibition Bill. You know, these two bills are very, very important. If, for example, look at that FAP bill, which is Violence Against Person Prohibition Bill. That is, it's a way to put an end to any domestic violence between a male and female. And the most interesting part of this bill is that, you know, the era of thuggery in politics during electioneering campaign has gone, because this bill has it makes sure that any politician that moves around with thuggery, with dangerous or offensive weapons, this bill will catch him or her. And look at the animal grazing regulation that has caused a lot of problems across the country. We have a bad experience about those who are moving, doing open grazing. This cattle area, they do move their cattle during the midnight, and most of the motorists may not know that such is ahead. At the same time, it's a way to increase our crop production in the state. It's a way to make our agricultural system viable and appeal to our people. Look at the Amotekun bill. Very, very important. Look at kidnapping bill that we have passed to law. All those things are all the bills, the 18 bills are very, very important to the state.
He also speaks on oversight function of members.
All the passed bill, that committee will ensure that there is a compliance from both the executive and security agents. And at times, we do call on the Commissioner of Police to the House of Assembly to have a discussion on most of these bills, especially the one that has to do directly with the citizen, especially the one that has to do with security. And we make sure that we have a good relationship with our security agent, and that of the one we are just established in the southwestern part, that is Amotekun Security Network. I believe that this rapport between the security agents and the House of Assembly will bring most of this bill into light. We want to engage people who will be, advocating the bill passed in the House of Assembly by running of jingles in our media houses, so that people will know that some bills have been passed into law that needs to do with their security, what the government or what the bill is expecting individual to do. Very, very important. One of the power of legislative arm is oversight function. Believe me sincerely, we don't joke with it. And any legislative arm who does not know how to go about their oversight, it's like they are not doing anything. The recent activities in the state, the construction of rehabilitation and construction of roads across the state, the Committee on Works, they are always on the top of it, making a good relationship with the Ministry of Works and Transport. And the recent heavy downpour in the state, we have members that comes from each of the state constituency that have reported the incident to the Speaker. And I have forwarded our own recommendation to the executive that the government should continue the expansion of our waterways, dredging. They should continue on dredging across the state, so that in order to avoid future occurrence. And at the same time, we have appealed to our people that they should stop dumping of refuse on the waterways or in our drainages. Most of the drainages are blocked. So we make sure that we emphasize and we carried out our oversight function. That is the power of the House of Assembly.
Timothy Owoeye said this experience has helped him in piloting the affairs of the Assembly.
The opportunity given to me by my constituency is highly appreciated. For me to be in this Assembly for 4 consecutive terms, it broadens my experience, my exposure, and it gives me a deep knowledge about legislative business. This has helped me a lot to pilot the affairs of this 7th Assembly. You know, experience is the best teacher. And my first term in this house, I was the minority leader before I became the leader of ACN then leader of the house, then majority leader before the speaker. You know that if you look at it, it has been in a sequential order. For you, it's better for you to have a minority experience before majority, so that you know what government is, what should operate in the House of Assembly. And even though when I was the minority leader, I have a very good relationship with the speaker. Apart from the fact that at times we do, you know,
we're from different
political parties. But then, when I was minority leader with a strong opposition, because we were 11 members
out of 26.
Out of 26, and the majority leader, the majority party is 15 members. So you know there is a very thin difference between the minority and majority. The majority then were not, they cannot form the required constitutional provisions, numbers of assembly that can move the assembly forward without making recourse to the minority.
He solicits support from members of the House and the state governor.
There is no way we can do it without the support of the people. And apart from the fact that we are accredited representative of the people, we engage in our constituency engagement, but they should see this House of Assembly as House of Assembly that are friendly to our people, to the citizen. And as far as this 7th Assembly is concerned, we are ready to pass into law bills that we have positive impact within our state. The bills that will increase the progress, achievement of the executives. Those and many more of it are coming before we mark our 3rd year anniversary. It's not that I'm trying to praise our executive governor. It's not that. But believe me sincerely, this man is performing. He's a good manager of human and material resources. Despite the meager resources that comes from the federal allocation to the state, the man, you know, as a financial surgeon, somebody who has gone far as fund management is concerned, you know, we have to give kudos to him for the fact that the man has done very well as far as his administration is concerned. Looking at it from November 18, 2018, I mean, till date, you know, he has paid successfully all the salaries and allowance of workers without owing a kobo. Kilometers of roads have been tarred in the state. 332 primary health centers has been rehabilitated. All the Veda constituency has been touched positively, and you know the backlog of our salary, he has started paying it. What else do we want? What else do we want than to support him wholeheartedly, than to give him necessary encouragement, that we encourage him to do more. So I'm appealing to our people to give him all the necessary support so that he will be able to move the state forward. Apart from that, people should continue to pay their taxes. Taxes is part of what the government can use to develop the state. And with that, any other advice they have, they should not hesitate to send it to the government.
That's the size of our package for today. Join us next Sunday, same time, for another edition of the program, Osun in Progress. On behalf of the coordinator, who doubles as State Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Funke Igbemade, and the entire production crew, my name is Rafi Hamid saying, do have a great week ahead.